We all long for happiness. It's the thing we most dream for.
Hail to the altruistic revolution. Let's go for it.
Now the first exercise is just going to get us ready for the big finale.
Have you ever had to be asked to do roughly the same thing as one of your all-time heroes, like seconds later? Because I think that just happened to me. And some people might cope with self-compassion. Some people might cope with some good breathing and mindfulness. I cope by freaking out. That's my comfort zone. Maybe not the greatest person to represent happiness to all humanity, but I freak out. It's like my head is filled, it's like a hamster ball, but there's like 8 hamsters in there. And they all have different ideas about what they're gonna do, and it just kind of runs around. I freak out. I get stuck on things, I overthink things, and actually, you know what? I think I kind of like that sort of stuff. For instance, opening a door and holding it for someone, this is a difficult thing for me. There's so many ways to do it incorrectly. I hold the door, I'm on the wrong side of the door, and then someone has to limbo under my arm. All the time. I hold the door and someone's just at their own pace and they're over there and I've got the door and I'm like, are you? Check my phone, holding the door. So I do that wrong. I can't even hold the door. I can't do much right. I remember a beautiful man just trying to make conversation, make me feel welcome in a group of people I didn't know. Not this jacket, it was like a bicycling commuter jacket. He says, "That's a nice jacket." I said, "Thanks, you know they went out of business." Constantly, I ruin my own chances at happiness. Now, I can actually get my whole day ruined if, in opening the door, this occurs. I work at a university full of able-bodied, strapping 19 to 22-year-olds who spend, I think, 50 hours a day working out. And they'll press this button meant for people who are mobility challenged. And they'll look back at me like, "I just did the door for you." I was like, "No, you just killed a polar bear and a lemur, a bunch of little rainforest birds, and you destroyed the Great Barrier Reef. Now I can't eat for the rest of the day to reduce your impact on the planet," right? So I'm always thinking about these things. Life is a continual minefield for me. But I kind of like that. It's preposterous, the things I get bent about. But it's preposterous and comforting. And I'm not the only one. I love that this person exists. Oh. The second I was invited to give this talk, I have been counting for me to show this picture. I was like, oh God, thank God I get to do this in real life. Get a brain, Mo Rands. Go USA. I love it. Oh, I'm so blessed that this person exists. He's a jerk, probably. He's very similar to me. He's just upset about something and wants to do something about it. Even better, it spawned a whole universe of wonder. This is a Nobel Prize in literature, if you ask me. I can has freedom, get a brain, Mo Rands. And I know I'm one of the Mo Rands for sure. Because I have a similar instinct as other people. Now in the US, we have these bumper stickers. Do you see these? Around here, hopefully not. Oh my God, but it'll happen someday like all the other great American ideas. So, to support the education and blossoming and flourishing of your little precious ones, you put a bumper sticker on your car that says, "I'm the proud parent of an honors student." Beautiful, right? No. That's a call to arms for some people. My zombie child ate your honor student's brain. I wish I could put that on my house somehow. It's just an amazing idea. It says so many rich things. This person is not only like angry or just at least wants to make a stand about honor students and supporting your child's blossoming as individuals, but they're also calling their own child a zombie, which I think is so wise, right? Now, look at this zombie. Babies. They're great. Everybody loves them. But I can't really feel at peace until, at least in my own mind, I say, oh yeah, she looks cute, but she's a monster. Blew out both sides of her diaper, down both legs, and just stared at you in the eye while she did it. That makes me feel better. That makes me feel better. And you may be wondering if my children have somehow lived through this experience of having me as a father. And I think so, probably. Now, I need a lot of help to get through life. Essentially, I have to embrace the fact that I've got a competing batch of hamsters in my head, that I only feel good when I can search through all those beautiful roses and find those thorns. And I realize what I'm really doing. I'm splashing about in the surf in the chest-high waves because I've been incredibly blessed and lucky in my life, and I know there's a rogue wave out there. I know there's a tsunami out there that could wipe it all away. So I'm practicing for that day, in a sense, in my own way. What I hope I can do with this talk today is talk about, this fact that we confront struggle and strife, that is actually something that's meaningful. And a lot of what we're talking about today feels nice, it looks nice. It's more than that. It's a security account we invest in so that we splash around in the chest-high waves, and then when the tsunami comes, we can start to rebuild. We know that feeling a little bit. We can't really prepare for the rogue wave, but it's out there. So I study meaning because meaning isn't about feeling great necessarily all the time. If I was to ask you, name the 3 most meaningful moments in your life so far, I bet they're not all birthday cakes. Buying your 3rd Mercedes because maybe the 2nd one didn't work, Rich, right? So I bet there's some tough times. That's what draws me to meaning. Now, this is a lot of words. I can't memorize this, so I'm going to read it anyways. I found this as an essay about the Royal Society of London, the world's first scientific organization. Human tool makers always make tools that will help us get what we want, and what we want hasn't changed for thousands of years because as far as we can tell, the human template hasn't changed either. We still want the purse that will always be filled with gold and the fountain of youth. We want the table that will cover itself with delicious food whenever we say the word, and that will be cleaned up afterwards by invisible servants. We want the 7-league boots so we can travel very quickly, perhaps especially in Australia. You're a little far from some places. And the hat of darkness so we can snoop on other people without being seen. We want the weapon that will never miss and the castle that will keep us safe. We want excitement and adventure. We want routine and security. We want to have a large number of sexually attractive partners. Speak for yourself. I lost my place. And we also want those we love to love us in return and to be utterly faithful to us. We want cute, smart children who will treat us with respect that we deserve. We want to be surrounded by music and ravished by scents and attractive visual objects. We don't want to be too hot or too cold. We want to dance. We want to speak with the animals. We want to be envied. We want to be immortal. We want to be as gods. But in addition, we want wisdom and justice. We want hope. We want to be good. Margaret Atwood. Brilliant person, brilliant human, opening doors for us about our universal desires over the years, the thousands of years since our template's been the same. My approach to this is to think about our little speck of dust that we are in this huge universe and the preciousness of that. And the fact that the fragility of our existence is the key to its very meaning. If we are invulnerable, if we are unkillable like Gilgamesh in the ancient Sumerian tales, we would crave some sort of challenge. It's when challenge comes that we don't want, that's when we struggle. When I think about the universe and these experiences that make us small, that are profound, that shock us to the core, that tell us there's hugeness out there, so much bigger than us, we're awestruck. That's what I want to understand. I want to understand meaning. How can we see huge destructive forces? How can we see tiny life flourishing in the face of it? And that's what meaning is in a sense. So meaning is pretty simple. We don't exactly know all the secrets. We don't know the levers. But we would say that meaning is people saying the three things to us. Life is worthwhile. I matter. There's value to this. It's significant to me. Life makes sense. I understand what happens and where I fit. Life has a point. I see and pursue a purpose for my existence. In the jargon that we love and adore so much in academia, we call these significance, coherence, and purpose. It's still a little fuzzy, I suppose you could say, right? But this is how we try to break it down. And maybe it's especially important for when we struggle. Because meaning is still there being created. Meaning happens. Our brains evolve to create meaning, connections. Where is the fresh water that we can drink? Who likes us? Who hates us? Are we safe here? Are we not? Meaning's created. When the world crushes us, the rogue wave smashes us and cleans our slate. We make meaning about that. We say, I deserved it. We say, I can't cope. I can't do this. Or we say, this is worthwhile. I'll get help. So we create a story. And in those stories, we discuss the significance. Is it a story worth telling? Is the challenge worth confronting, or do we fold? Coherence. Can we understand what is happening to us? Can we make sense of it somehow? Can we find a reason why? Purpose. Can we find a point, a mission, something that we can accomplish through our struggle? So I'm going to do something that's not particularly nice to you. I'm going to show you one of these stories. And I will try to be able to talk after I watch this video.
Sunrise over the Phoenix suburbs. Todd and Tara Storch are here to continue the mission they began in March, the day their daughter Taylor, just 13, died in a Colorado ski accident, the day they decided to donate her organs.
I don't know, excited is not the correct or right word.
The Storches say they came here because they had to. Their daughter may be deceased, but her heart lives on in the Valley of the Sun. It's the thing that's been on Tara's mind since day one.
Hearing Taylor's heartbeat. That's really what I've wanted since the very beginning, is to find who has her heart and have a connection with that person.
That person is Patricia Winters. Married to Joe, she's a nurse. At age 40, just 1 year younger than Tara. And they're both now raising 2 children. Her heart started failing 5 years ago, after the birth of her second son.
I felt like I wasn't going to last very long. I was sleeping pretty much 18 hours a day and could hardly really do anything other than lay in bed. It was pretty pathetic.
She was too weak to take care of her boys. Taylor's heart lets her be mom again.
The boys are finally, I think, kind of really trusting of me again and enjoying their mom.
Tara's challenge is learning to be mom to just 2.
Just trying to find a new normal without having the missing piece of our 5-piece puzzle.
Transplant alliances are cautious about telling recipients who their donors are. But using the internet, friends figured it out in just hours. And that still troubles Patricia.
Well, knowing that she was 13, I mean, that within itself was hard, but seeing Taylor's picture and then in a few days looking at the YouTubes and all that stuff, it was just, it just gave me that sinking feeling even more.
Everyone's looking now, I'm surrounded by open rays. Baby, I can see your halo. Know you're my saving grace.
Online, she followed the Storches story on taylorsgift.org. That's the website of the foundation Todd started to encourage organ donations. There she saw a link to our story.
I can't wait till I'm able to hug the person that has her heart.
That encouraged Patricia to reach out. By email, the 2 moms built a special bond.
Tara and Patricia have been texting and emailing. They had their first conversation a day or 2 ago on the phone.
Both couples faced the meeting excited, yet nervous.
I think it'll be good. I really do.
It will be. It'll be tough, but it'll be good.
The Storches finally pull up at Patricia's door. The moms hug, heart to heart, for almost a minute. Then Todd joins them for a minute more.
You know, I know this is, we should probably talk, but I need to hear her.
Patricia retrieves her nurse's stethoscope.
This goes around your ears like that. I cleaned it, okay? Tell me if you can hear it. It's so strong.
Oh, yeah.
She is very strong.
I want him to hear too.
It is the sound of life itself. It is Taylor's gift.
I am so sorry. And I thank you at the same time.
I'm so glad you're good.
So is that happiness? I think so. To me, it's meaning. Like the recipient of Taylor's heart said, it's tough, but it's good. And I think that is part of what we're seeking here, because we know that these things happen. And we want to be strong for those who need us, and we want to be strong for ourselves. So did they create their story? Is their story one worth telling? Is their challenge worth engaging? Can they understand what's happening to them? Can they find some sense in it and a reason why? Do they find their point, something to accomplish through their struggle and their hardship? I think so. And for you, will you create meaning? Yeah. Will you take charge of that, though? Will you create meaning for yourself and for others? You're here, you're giving your time, your money, your resources. So yes, I think so. Will you create it in awesome times? Yes. In hard times and in struggle? Yes. In excitement and adventure and routine and security? For sure. Will you create meaning for yourself and others in your castles, your tables filled with food, and hopefully with wisdom, justice, hope, and good, because that's how we build up for the next big wave. And we're all here together, certainly if we see someone who's struggling, who needs what we have, who needs our heart, who needs our love, our connection. We're there, and you'll be there. So thank you very much.